Munoz here to talk about when in your rotation should you be asking for your letter of recommendation. And first of all, if you're doing an observatory rotation or any rotation with anyone, they know that you're going to ask for a letter of recommendation. So they knew ahead of time that that time was coming. Now, when is the right time, right? I would say at least you have to be in the rotation 2 weeks before you ask for a letter of recommendation. And when you ask, be upfront on why are you asking right now, and what's your time frame that you have for this letter to be uploaded. Because, for example, for me, it took me about a month to finish a letter for a medical student, and I wasn't happy with the letter. So I talked to him and said, hey, what else would you like me to include on your letter? Could you draft something for me so I can include it on my letter? And they know, a student, an applicant knows what traits of their personalities should be enhanced in your letter, presented in your letter. So he gave me that letter and I signed it off, and even with that, it took me a month and 2 hours yesterday to upload the letter. The steps are fairly easy once you get the request letter in your email, but I would think that for an older physician that's not very good with computers, it might be daunting. So a couple of tips that I have for you are: first, ask early if you need it within a certain amount of time, 2 weeks at least. And the most important thing, earn that letter. So earn that letter. So when they write it for you, they really put effort and time on it. The other thing is that you could easily say to a doctor, um, would you mind if I would that be okay if I draft a letter for you and you go through it and edit it and add things that you may think are are pertinent? I will be very happy if you do that for me, because I don't have that much time to sit and write a letter. It takes time. It's not super easy. Try to sit and just write your personal statement, one paragraph, and see how long it takes. The same for me, because I don't want to hurt your chances of getting into residency, right? So I want to say things the right way, check on grammar, check on things. So if you do that part for me, then I can just add things, and I wouldn't mind really if you say something like that. The other thing is, once you have it signed off by your attending, then that letter needs a letterhead paper, right? To make it official, to make it cool. So he doesn't know where are the letterhead papers. He has to ask his secretary or his MA or anyone in the office if they could print it in a letterhead paper. That process alone, if you leave it to them to do it, alone that will take at least 2 or 3 days, because the MAs or secretaries have to upload so many papers through the day. They have to work with so many insurance papers. So if it were me, I will, of course, by that time I will be friends with the MAs and the secretaries, and I will be going to their desk and say, hey, would you mind printing this for me on a letterhead paper? And they will do it right away because you're asking right away. So that will be tip number 2. Then that letter, once it's printed in a letterhead paper, have it signed by your physician right away. Hey doc, this is the letter. Can you go through it? Leave it there until the next day. The next day, come pick it up, upload it yourself in a PDF document, and email it to him. That's your part. Email it to him. So when he receives the letter of recommendation request that you send from ERAS, he just goes through the steps. Maybe he may have to spend some time registering to get an account, but that's 20 minutes. That's easy. And after that, he just needs to upload that PDF. But if you're gonna leave this whole process of printing, letterhead, signing, making it a PDF to one person that is busy already, you may have your letter in a long time. So if you're having a rotation an observership in a program that is only with one doctor, just try to get working into these steps. But if you're working in an observership, an established observership program, like there's so many out there, they already know these steps. So basically, you're paying for all that. But yeah, those are my recommendations. Thank you for listening. And what's coming next is the steps I had to follow to upload a letter, just for you to know. But thanks. He will receive this letter request on his email, and the important number here is the ERS letter ID and this blue link. So the attending will open this link, and this will take you to the AAMC letter of recommendation portal. Tell him to sign in using this box here, and if he doesn't have an account, he will have to create an account. On the right, it may take him up to 45 minutes to create an account because it involves a verification process. But if he has an account, then he has to sign in, and this is the whole portal. On this portal, there is this green button on the right corner, and that's where he will enter the information on this sequence of steps. The first one is to enter the ERS letter ID number again, and it will take you to the next steps, which are we'll click continue, and then the other one is gonna ask you, do you take on the responsibility on creating a letter for this student, and you have read the protocol and guidance on how to do a letter? Yes. The next one is to upload the letter, which has to be on a PDF format, and then the last step is to verify the letter. So after that, you are done uploading a letter, and the letter should show up here, and that's it. That's all that your attending has to do.